What up, YouTube? Welcome back to another freaking bee. There's a freaking bee in it. I'm gonna kill the bastard. What up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Apologies if you can hear a bee over there. He will not shut up. But today we're going to be getting our blueprints, and we're going to be sticking onto a piece of wood and cutting them out and hopefully assembling stuff. So let's get into it. So here's the template we made in the previous Robot Wars video. It's been rolled up for a for a while, so it's a bit crinkly, but it'll still do for our purposes because we can flatten it down. Basically, the next step is to get some totally not sponsored Wilco heavy duty. Well, it doesn't have to be heavy duty, but I got this because it was dirt cheap. I hope that's even focusing. It probably isn't, but never mind. But this is repositionable up to, I think, an hour, which is quite good for what we want. So that means we'll be able to peel it off okay. It doesn't actually fully stick or cure, I think, for 24 hours. So you've got a decent amount of working time with it. And even if it does stick, we can sand it off afterwards. It's not too big of a deal. Okay, first step then, it'll probably be to cut this template out down to size so it can make it a bit easier to stick on things. So I'm probably going to cut along the edge, so I can line it up, because I've got two straight edges on the piece of wood I'm using, and if they're straight enough I'm just going to use them, because it's a prototype, so it doesn't have to be that perfect. So yeah, let's get cutting. Okay, that's our piece cut out. I'm not going to bother with these, because when they're stuck down then I'll drill through and then I'll cut these out with the scroll saw. I would do it with a bandsaw, but I don't have one. And I didn't even know we had a scroll saw until my dad was just like, yeah, why didn't you use that? And I'm like, because I didn't know we had one. So apparently we have one, so that'd be useful. So yeah, next step is just going to stick it on this piece of wood here. Now, as you can see, this wood piece is quite a bit bigger than the actual bot. I'm going to be using two of the edges that look probably these two up here, probably these two. If I move the battery so I don't get, damn, it's dead anyway, I should probably put it on charge. I'll try and get it so you can see. But can you see? You can just about see it. Like, it's not going to be the most prettier things, but I'm going to stick it along the edge there and there, and then, because that's pretty good like that, and then I'll cut it out on the table saw. Obviously you don't need to use a table saw, you could use a wood saw or something like that, but being as I have it, I'm going to use it, why not? So let's get it stuck on, shall we? I am so glad I decided to put this down. That comes out in a spray I didn't even expect. You're actually supposed to put this on both surfaces. I'm pondering whether I'm going to do that or not. I probably will for the first one to see how it goes, but if it's an absolute pain to get off, then I'll just do it with the one surface next time, and hopefully that'll hold it well enough just while we cut, and then Bob's Uncle Fan is your aunt, really. Now we wait for 5 minutes. Right then. Seems to be all touch dry. I'm just going to peel it off here. Please come off. It's alright, it's coming off. Thank goodness for that. Peel this off here. and move those over. I might reuse them if they're not totally foobarred, but I'll do ER. And I've sprayed it on this corner here, so let's hope I can line it up well enough. I think we're committing to that. That's not too bad. Right then, let's get it pushed down. Not the tape's even necessary anymore. That is going on not too badly. That's actually not bad. I might put a bit more in that corner because I don't think I went far enough with the other side of the glue. The way this is sticking, I think 2 sides is the way to go. But let's get a bit more in this corner, and then I'll give that a few minutes to set, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, the next step is then just cutting it out. I've had to take the rail off because it won't basically, I don't have enough room there, and I also don't have anything that's flush. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut within like an inch of this piece of wood first, which is wasting a little bit, but not too much. I think this is a scrap piece of wood we had already. Cut that off straight through, and then I'll go in, put the guard back on, flip it round the other way, and I'll get a nice straight cut along there. So let's do that. Basically what I did there, in case you're wondering, I went and got a box for the other side because I didn't like getting too deep. You do not ever want to get anywhere near that thing. Like, I'm not even gonna unplug it to show you. But that's a big blade and you don't want your fingers anywhere near it. Okay? Now the safety talk's over with. I actually managed to find the box that was the perfect size to support it, which was quite nice. So yeah, now I'm going to put the guard back on, or rail, or whatever it's called, and what do we need to cut? Okay, I openly admit this one's not going to be right, because I didn't leave like an Aegis. I should have left more meat here so I could then get this right, and I should have cut the first thing straight basically, and I wasn't because I'm an idiot. Yeah, let's go. Right, I've got me prodder. I fashioned a little bit of a thing out of an old piece of wood so I can put it that way up. That's probably better that way. But yeah, it just stops my fingers from being anywhere near it, which is what you want. Right. Let's give this a go, shall we? I take no chances, for goodness sake. Yeah, I've botched that tremendously. Just see how much I'm out there. But it doesn't matter. It's a test bench or whatever. That's the point of the thing. Yeah, it's my own stupidity for cutting it too close. So avoid that. Do your cut straight to begin with, and then you'll have a nice straight edge to cut along, rather than being an absolute tit and having to measure it. Because I'm a tit. Okay, apologies if you can hit lawnmower, but that's me dad. But no, I messed up that badly on the table saw. I've axed it. I would use the skill saw, which is like a big push along version of that. But I think the blade's knackered, so I'm going to try and see what because we've got to use the scroll saw in a bit anyway. So I'm going to give it a whirl, see how it works against this sort of piece of wood. I put a fairly, make sure I've got it the right way up. Yeah, a 10 tough blade, so they're meant to be the least teeth or better for cutting coarser wood, I think. Anyway, I don't really know what I'm talking about, but I'm going to give it a whirl. So let's go. there we are then. It's not the most best thing in the world, but it'll do. Next step, I'm going to drill through these and cut these out with a scroll saw here and here. So let's get that doing. Okay, this drill bit's probably overkill for the size of that hole, but we'll do it anyway, just to make sure. Now, in case you're wondering, I only need the one hole to get the blade in, but this will make it a lot easier to turn and get rid of those corners and that kind of thing, and clean it up a bit afterwards. Okay, two things I've learned from this little escapade. Challenge cheap range is way better than their so-called expensive range. That was freaking awful. Could not see a thing. And then the screw fell out, which was marvellous. And secondly, right tool for the job, like every single time. Like, the scroll saw was good, and it was kind of handy to do this straight edge, but I honestly just use a jigsaw or actually have a setup with a table saw that actually works, rather than being an idiot like me. So the next step is then try and peel this off, and we'll see what we've got. I don't even know if it'll peel off. I think it will. It's not stuck to... yeah, yes, it will come off. Your services are no longer required. It does help that the board itself is horribly dirty. Look at that. There's not even barely any residue left. So yeah, so next step then is to cut the other pieces. Let's get on with it. Okay, in case you're wondering, this isn't actually like a workbench. It's a piece of plywood put on top of a pool table, so I had nowhere to clamp it to, so I had to get a really long clamp. But yes, it's coming together. It's coming together. Well, there we have it. There's all the bits cut. Took a bit longer than I expected, mainly because I was an idiot with two of the three saws. So I just ended up doing it pretty much with the jigsaw in the end, and it came out like, obviously it's not as perfect a straight cut as if you'd use the table saw or a skill saw, but it's actually not bad. I think next time I'll get a bigger blade for the not bigger blade, better blade, like a not knackered blade for the skill saw, and then I'll do a lot of the cuts with that, and I'll get a decent workmate, because it's a nice firm surface, but there's not really much room to clamp. So next step, I suppose, is to get all the electronics and stuff done, and sort of try it out for size. Oh, one other thing, I think next time I'll actually print 2 of the templates and cut 2 templates out rather than using one to draw around the other, because I didn't have a very as you can see, the nib's a bit fat and I haven't really got anything else that can mark that too well. So next time I'll get print some more templates out. Now, you haven't seen these yet because I did the video and then lost all the footage, but these are the ESC mounts, so I'm going to do a little video on how I sort of made these, and I'll link in the tutorial as well to one that I followed from Maker's Muse, actually, funnily enough. I seem to watch a lot of him, he's good. But he actually modelled these exact speed controllers, which was rather handy for me. So I followed his guide, and there's one with a fan attached. These are little 24-volt fans, and I think they're meant for little 3D printers, but they're the perfect size to fit on, I hope you can see, these little things. So I'm going to have a play around positioning. We'll see what it looks like. Okay, so here's the general plan. I need to look on the internet to find out how big the scooter motor is actually going to be, because that's going to be mounted somewhere in the middle. Probably down here, and then I'll have the sprocket and that for the pole for the axe. But I've decided to keep the battery under here. Because I want it to be as protected as possible. I'm even going to 3D print a surround for it as well. So even if it gets through the outer shell, there's something else stopping it from getting pierced straight away. Because if that goes up, that's bye-bye robot pretty much. And then I'm going to stick the speed controllers, obviously I'm decided on orientation, that will probably go the other way, to be fair, but for now I'll put them like that just to make it so I've got enough cable to hook everything up. The loom should do for now, maybe. If I can sort of sneak those into there, that should be enough cable just for test purposes, but I'll have to redo that at some point, I think, because that's just not long enough anymore. And then I've decided to put the receiver next to one of the speed controllers, and then that way the cable for the that's not even the cable for that. The cable for the PWM, yeah, the PWM cable will fit across there, and I'll run it like through a little hole at the back. I'm not sure how well you can see, but I'll explain a bit better when I actually come to putting it all together. So yeah, that's the general idea. Okay, I think we're ready for a test. Obviously a lot of this stuff isn't going to stay like this, like the battery, well, when I measure these properly next time, the battery will go in here, it'll have its own little enclosure, the speed controllers, and like the wiring for the speed controllers, I'll probably run a little bit easier. But I'll work things out in the meantime. But for a Mark 1 prototype, I think it's not too bad. It's certainly more secure than the first one I did. So I suppose there's nothing left now, is just to plug it in and hope it doesn't blow up. This is a bit I always hate, even though I've done it countless times, and I know nothing can't be wrong, because I've put connectors on everything. I still hate this bit. Let's go. And let's see if I hook the batteries up the right way. Oh. Always turn your receiver on first, everybody. I fucked up. What have I done? Maybe that was on. Yeah, I'm just gonna like lift it up just in case. Okay, yeah, that's what I've done. Lock or dip. Hang on. Oh, leave that on. Nope, I should turn. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Alert this time. I'll put blocks under it. Right, let's try again. Yep, looks good. Let's get it outside for a test. Okay, now apologies for the small test area. Now I've lowered the clearance, it now won't go over the grass, so I'm having to just pick the straightest bit of pavement. But see what I mean? It's a slightest bit now, but it is working nicely. That is not good. So in the next video, we're not going to be doing ESC mounts, we're going to be doing a battery box. Because I'm an idiot and nearly blew up my battery because I got a bit excited. I got to be honest, I wanted to see it spin, and the centrifugal force threw the battery across the yard pretty much, almost. Well, not that far, but it was enough to... So I've plugged in the battery. It seems all good, like all the chargers are still there. I'll probably throw it on the charger to get it up to storage charge again, just to make sure, but that seemed alright. Okay, being as outside was a complete disaster, I thought I'd plug this in here and just show you on the top of the table. Once I can get it all around. Pretty strong as well. I'll put quite heavy clamps, and yeah, it's absolutely nothing of them. I wonder if there's anything heavier to try. One sec. I think this might be asking a little bit too much of our Kraticus, but this is a screw box full of drill bits and 2 clamps. That's surprising. That's pretty heavy. Hang on, you know what? We need to step this up. Okay, this is an even heavier box of screws. Like a really heavy box. I think with a bit of a run up. That's not bad. Do you know what? We've got to go all in. We've got to go all in. Hang on. So this is 2 clamps, a box of drill bits and a box of screws, all metal. I don't think we might have beaten Cratipus on this one. Yeah. Give him a bit of a run up. Oh, not quite. To be fair. Ooh, let's get a bit close to the edge there. To be fair, these are skinny little unicycle wheels. I plan on getting better ones. No, not quite, not quite. It's a valiant effort, my little friend, but apparently you're a weakling. Right. And anyway, that's the finished prototype. Fingers crossed. I just need to put some body plates or whatever. Print a few more mounts. I need to make a receiver mount, and I need to make a battery box. And then that's pretty much it, and the rest is just wiring and stuff. So in the next couple of videos there'll probably be the box for the battery, the ESC mounts, proper versions, because that one they're just ever so slightly out, so I've just used a bit of the old Velcro just to pad it out. That's why they were starting to crack a little bit in places, but they're fine. They're good for testing, which is what you need. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. If you enjoyed, please like, comment and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. And I'll see you next time. Ta-da!
I am the danger.